We also have clients that want to sell their property and want to buy at the same time, the same day. But they always tell me, what if something happens? What if I don't have the money to close? And how can we help them be confident about the transaction where they're going to sell a house and buy a house the same day?
Sure. Yeah, it's incredible. In fact, we're seeing a whole lot of that happening right now. A lot of folks are willing to move, right, from their current home, finding different opportunities, whether that's buying up or downsizing because due to family situation.
Exactly.
But a lot of the clients that we're seeing right now, the home that they currently have, they're sitting on those homes and they have opportunities that's right away that they want to tap into, right? So two very important tools to keep in mind. One is a HELOC, right? So the client can take a HELOC on the existing home, right? And use that to purchase the new home.
But that's only on the equity, right? So they have to have equity.
They have to have equity. So for a lot of the folks that have purchased over the years, and we understand after 2020, 2023 pretty much is when rates started going up, but home value has really almost double over that time frame, right? So a lot of people do have a lot of equity in their home that they can leverage to purchase the next home. So that's one tool that we can use. Another tool that we use quite often is what's called a bridge loan. And that's a great option for someone perhaps that don't have a ton of equity, right? But may have some equity nonetheless, or they have a lot of equity, right? But the bridge loan would allow them to purchase the new home without having to stress over the current home, right? Because it would give them space, usually 6 months, right? Where it's no payments, right? Where they can use the bridge loan option to purchase the new home. There's no payment on the current home that give them freedom, and we don't have to count that against their debt to income ratio, right? And in some cases, some of the bridge loan option, they would actually purchase the home after the 6-month period, right? But we're talking about 6 months here in South Florida. Everybody want to move to South Florida, so eventually someone's going to purchase that existing home within those 6 months.
One thing that you mentioned about the bridge loan that I have not heard before is that you said on their current home, they're not going to have payment for 6 months. How do you make that happen?
So the bridge loan works this way. The lender would typically charge a fee, right? It's usually a certain percentage for the service of providing the bridge loan. And you would also take a couple months, usually 6 months of PITI, set that aside. The rest of, at least the rest of the process would just be that there's no payment. But that payment is collected up front with the bridge loan fee, right? The borrower in this instance would not have to physically send a payment to their mortgage company, the current mortgage company, because that's already allocated for. So the advantage here, we take the debt load off their debt to income ratio, and we just focus on the new loan that they're going to get for the property that they're buying. Now, again, we're in South Florida. So if we're talking about 6 months for a bridge loan and for you to sell the house, typically that house is going to be sold within those first 6 months, right?
Of course.
But if not, this bridge loan option would also come with an option to purchase it. So then the borrower really can feel a sense of freedom, less stress moving into the new home, because they know if something were to happen, they didn't sell it in 6 months, the bridge loan company would purchase the home from them. So it's a great product. It gives people an opportunity to move up or down, right? Without the stress of worrying about, well, what's going to happen?
What if it doesn't sell?
Exactly. Right. So it's a great product. If you have a client that has a bridge loan that they're looking at, exploring, we are happy to explore that with them and give them some options.
I'll be in touch for sure.
Sounds good. Gonzalo, it's always a pleasure seeing you.
Pleasure to see you.
Absolutely.